What is sales training and why does it matter to your business? Before I give you the answer, excuse the mustache, I'm in full fundraising mode for November. It's near the end of the month, raised almost £400 so far, been ambassador for almost 10 years, fundraising for a long time for this great charity which raises money for men's mental health, hence the mustache. And I'm here at this beautiful 5-star resort, Loch Erne Resort in Enniskillen. It's sort of southwest of Northern Ireland. And look at these views out the window. It's a gorgeous golf resort, and today I'm delivering a full day of sales training. Most of the work I do is one-to-one coaching or half day. This is a full day with 14 people from all over the country who've come here to learn from me. So I'm so excited about that. I'm going to have some pictures, and I want to talk to you a bit more about why sales training is so important for your business and how it takes you to another level. So sales training takes you to another level. It gives you the knowledge, it gives you the confidence, and it gives you the success you need. But only if you take action. And taking action is so important because so many people will do training and then go straight back to their job. You have to take action. And of course, it is the responsibility of a manager to make sure staff does take action, or the responsibility of the business owner to make sure his staff are taking action. But it's also your responsibility as well. And a good sales trainer will make sure you email them afterwards. But why? Well, after you do sales training, you're learning. You email somebody, you're learning. You get feedback from me, you're learning again. And then what I do, which most sales trainers don't do, in addition to accountability, is giving you bonus documents to learn from a few weeks later, giving you articles to learn from a month later, doing a follow-up call 2 months later to see how you're getting on. This is how you learn and improve. You don't learn from doing just a half day of sales training. That's not good enough. It has to be consistent throughout the year, and obviously mixing it with attending a conference once a year. Reading a book, or if you're younger, listening to audio, listening to podcasts, watching YouTube videos like this. These are all the different ways you can learn. I don't choose one way of learning. I find all the above valuable, and I have a sales coach myself I work with once a month. I have a speaking coach I work with once a quarter, anytime I do a keynote speech, because every keynote speech is different, of course, as well. I have a LinkedIn trainer I work with once a quarter, just to make sure my skills are kept sharp and I'm doing everything I should be doing. So with sales training, it has to be a constant investment. So I wanted to talk about what we discussed in the sales training, and some of it was expected and some of it was actually quite unexpected. So the first thing that I do, which they were surprised by, but which I know works well, is routines, habits, mindset, vision board, positive attitude. That's like the foundation of sales. People think it's 10 ways to close a deal or how to overcome a sales objection. Well, how to overcome a sales objection is very important. 10 ways to close a deal isn't as important as you think, but you have to get the basics right. Understanding routines, habits, positive attitude, resilience, all these are tremendous skills I teach first. And all the delegates who attended were pleasantly surprised because they don't normally start training that way. Then we got into the nitty-gritty of listening exercises. And again, it's not just people staring at PowerPoint all day. That's boring. It is. 8 hours of PowerPoint. Nobody needs that. So I got them into pairs, and we had breakout sessions, and we did listening exercises, and we did role plays. One person listens and one person doesn't listen, and we get feedback. And then we do another role play where one person listens and the other person talks, and the other person is fascinated by what the other person has to say. And we talk about listening, and listening is one of the greatest skills. You see, everybody knows they have to listen more, but most people don't do it. Most people in sales are thinking, how do I sell my product, or what do I do next to get this person to buy? That's not how you listen. When you listen to somebody, it's what they say. It's the tone in which they say it, and it's the body language they use when they're saying it as well. A question I often like to ask somebody is, how happy are you with your current supplier? And if they say, oh, the current supplier is fantastic, then it's fantastic. But a lot of people reply, my supplier's okay. And they often say it, and their body language changes. That means you know there's a problem. So it's understanding tone, it's understanding how people say things. So listening exercises are vital. And then, of course, we get down to sales process. That is understanding, okay, you ask the questions, listen to the answers, recap, ask, is there anything else I might have missed? There's a whole process of doing things. And at the very end, and it's only at the very end, you mention the price. And when you do that, they will say things like, okay, call me back in a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks' time. And you do. And they're not available. Or they haven't made a decision. And that's where a lot of people are struggling with nowadays. And that's where we spent almost half a day was dealing with ghosting and overcoming objections. I knew it would be an important part of the sales training, but a half a day on objections and sales training is huge because people are really struggling with it right now. A recent stats I read said 62% of people are making no decision. 62%. That doesn't just affect you. It affects the company. Nobody wins when indecision happens. So it's your job to make sure you get an answer either as quickly as possible or you move the deal in the right direction. So half a day was spent in that. And what I found fascinating was a lot of people that are doing following up will follow up on email and then email again and then email again. I'm like, no. Follow up on email once, maybe twice. But then the third time, pick up the phone. The fourth time, shoot a video like this on your phone. Okay, that's it. Shoot a video on your phone like this, 60 seconds long. Mention the client's name, remind them of the challenges they have, remind them of the solutions your product or service provides, and then send that to them. You can send it to them through LinkedIn direct messaging, or if the video is more than a minute long, upload it privately to YouTube or to Vimeo. I have hundreds of videos privately on YouTube that only my clients have seen and nobody else has seen, with me chasing them up saying, here are the challenges you have, here are the solutions I provided. I've not heard anything back. Like, I'm a business owner, I know how quickly things change. What has changed with you? Has anything happened since we've last spoken? Is there something else I need to know? And by doing that, I get a 60% response rate. Not a 60% conversion rate, by the way, a 60% response rate. That's very, very important. So video is a brilliant way to overcome that. LinkedIn voice notes is a fantastic way to get a response. Sending material in the post like a letter is a brilliant way to get a response. I get ghosted like everybody else does, but I get a response from 60% of people I speak to, and that is brilliant. So everybody is then kept, of course, accountable after the training. That is absolutely key so they can keep learning. We talked about email writing, follow-up email writing, because most people don't follow up effectively. I've just mentioned that. And then we covered LinkedIn at the end. You have to cover LinkedIn because LinkedIn is such an important part of business, especially if you're in B2B. Most B2B companies are active on LinkedIn and they're making buying decisions from LinkedIn. So as a part of your sales training, you will learn how to optimize your profile, because that's the first thing people see. How to write content people engage with, because that builds your brand and builds trust. We talk about doing video on LinkedIn, credibility, trust, lead generation. And then we talk about, okay, how do you actually convert those leads? Because everybody wants to have more leads, but yet most people don't know how to convert those leads effectively. Okay, and everything was done to give you the best possible experience. That was everything we covered. But like I said, it was mainly overcoming objections. It was mainly how to deal with ghosting. It was email and email follow-up. And at the very end, of course, we have to cover LinkedIn because LinkedIn is such an important part. If this stuff is interesting to you, if you want to know more, get in touch with me. If you want to keep learning, subscribe to my YouTube channel because every single week I'm going to be uploading new videos. Next video you see of mine, I probably won't have this mustache, but I hit my Movember target finally. It's my 10th year to Movember. It helps raise awareness for men's suicide prevention, testicular cancer, prostate cancer, and men's mental health. It's a very important charity and a very tough charity to raise money for, and I'm really proud that I do that. So thank you so much for listening. Good luck with your sales in 2024 and 2025.